going to talk about three things today. The first is what happened when content met the internet over the last 10 years. The second one is where you get the collision between strategy, product, and content. And the last one is basically saying that digital transformation is really, really hard, and it would be a lot easier for everyone to just go shopping and ignoring it. The internet has let us do a number of things, ranging from things like format shifting and distribution, all the way through to inventing genuinely new kinds of media as well. So on the one hand, you've got things like YouTube, Hulu, and Netflix, which are a bit like, or most like, traditional broadcasters, in that the product or the need that they fill, the linear video need that they fill, is pretty much the same thing. But the way that they do it and the way that they distribute it means that their business can be different than traditional linear video media businesses. But for stuff like Snowfall, for stuff like what Channel 4 and the BBC were doing in the UK in terms of new media stuff, they were really interested in, well, what could we do that we couldn't do any other way but for the internet, but for the fact that everyone has a web browser, or but for the fact that everyone has a mobile phone. Instead of writing the same news that we always do, or telling a story that we always do, and just putting the words on the screen.
You know, I really appreciated the sort of kind of deeper design thinking that he was talking about. You know, even to the point of him moving into working on government documents, which I think there's some really interesting implications for that.
For example, in government, one of the things that they were going to do with this $500 million child welfare system was take every single form that already existed in the system and just turn it into a PDF. Whereas they had the opportunity, or they now have the opportunity to go, this form that includes 50 different questions, do we actually need to ask all of them?
Something surprising was the government documents component of this, because it's so practical that we just accept the fact that so much of that stuff is just crappy. But what would our lives be like if that were made better? And I think that was a surprising piece, that there's a movement to alter that.
What does my audience need? Not what do I need, but what does my audience need? What do my users need? I don't suppose that you normally think about users from a communications or a journalism point of view, just audiences, but there's this kind of confluence between, you can't just think of content as the thing that goes inside the product anymore, or content as the thing that goes inside the service anymore. You might be able to in some degree, but there's just no way that you can separate them in the way that we have been able to separate them in the past.